stretching before bedtime. Also, we go to sleep very tense. So creating a practice before bed, something simple, a few minutes a day, on a yoga mat, doing a little stretching, or even just on your bed, and, being in a position where your neck is flat against your pillow or your mattress, and you're thinking about your spine being straight and really grounding into the space that you're on. And then again, like, elevating the feet and knees is really helpful for low back pain. The first thing that comes to mind is actually position during sleep. I find that a lot of people don't think much about how they're sleeping, because by the time we actually get there, we just want to crash.
Right.
But for me personally, a really cool tool for limiting low back pain if you're a side sleeper, because a lot of the pain I see is either shoulder or hip, is putting a pillow between your knees.
Oh, yeah, that's something that I do.
Yay. Yeah.
I actually feel a big difference.
It really helps. And it's one of those funny things that when you start doing it, you feel like you always have to do it because it helps you. And so getting into a routine of creating a comfortable space for sleeping, and it isn't just about comfort or loving maybe the depth of your mattress, but thinking about physically what your sleep patterns are. A lot of it comes from being a little kid, or being an infant, or even, gestationally, how we're positioned. So having some thought around what your sleep patterns are. I do notice that a lot of people sleep on one shoulder. So having enough pillows where you can hug a pillow. You can put one between your knees. If you're a side sleeper, you can do one under a top knee and then the other leg is straight. If you're a back sleeper, or if you can practice naps or resting on your back, make sure your feet and knees are elevated. Even the practice of changing the blood flow. There's a yoga posture called waterfall, which is just having your feet up on a wall. But you don't even need to go that far. But, so much of what we do is standing or sitting in a position with our shoulders forward, our head forward, this kind of very active posture. And the posture of creating space for your joints and also lifting your knees and legs helps the blood actually flow the opposite way.
Wow.
So I would say the first kind of easy adjustment one can make is creating a really healthy sleep practice. And maybe you will always be a shoulder sleeper. Maybe you'll always have kind of a funny posture in your sleep. But I do notice a lot of people that wake up with like a funny neck. It's due to, a lot of stress during the day. Maybe it's due to a posture that has them, looking at a cell phone all the time, or using that thumb to text, or a computer, or driving. So creating a space in your sleep, whether it's the pillow, that's kind of my magical tool, or stretching before bedtime. Also, we go to sleep very tense. So creating a practice before bed, something simple, a few minutes a day, on a yoga mat, doing a little stretching, or even just on your bed, and, being in a position where your neck is flat against your pillow or your mattress, and you're thinking about your spine being straight and really grounding into the space that you're on. And then again, like, elevating the feet and knees is really helpful for low back pain.
So do you mean actually maybe stacking up some pillows underneath your knees when you sleep?
You could. For me, I'm a side sleeper, so sleeping on my back is a challenge. However, when I can sleep like that, I wake up, even if it's just a few hours, like a chunk of time, I wake up feeling like my body is so much more relaxed. Yeah. So if you can get yourself comfortable enough as you're falling asleep to try sleeping on your back with your knees elevated, it's a really cool practice that you can do while you're sleeping.
Right.
But it's not easy to change something that you've done forever. So
right. And it's not easy to change what you do in the middle of the night while you're sleeping. But as a simple practice that people can think about, considering, having additional pillows, or, they actually make pillows specifically for between the knees now. I just use like a regular pillow or whatever. Right. But, and looking at the pillow that you use under your neck, I think everyone's just different. Like I'm a small pillow person. Right. And if I stay in a hotel or something and there's that big, thick pillow, I will almost always wake up with a neck ache.
Right.
But little simple things like, hey, maybe consider a different pillow or a pillow between the knees, a couple minutes of stretching before bed. I mean, that's something that I just kind of do without even thinking about it. Like I lay down and it's like my body is like beckoning me to like, hey, do some stretching. So I'll actually just, while I'm laying in bed, I'll lift my legs up in the air, kind of like that waterfall pose or legs up the wall, but I'll just do it in air.
Right.
And I'll usually do a little of the kind of like figure 4 stretches. And I mean, it's just kind of become like my little thing that I do at night while I'm laying in bed. And then as I start feeling my muscles feeling more relaxed, and then I start like laying down to really fall asleep, I feel different than I did before. So it's interesting how like that physical stretching and physical movement kind of, it has like an effect on our nervous system.
It does.
Right?
And just touching in on screens too. We've talked about this before, but turning off, if you're someone that falls asleep with the TV on, I do it on occasion if, I'm in the mood for watching a movie or something. But making a point to shut your screens off and, push them away from you, and having a little bit of time before you fall asleep where you're just in a quiet, relaxed space. So you have your whole day, all the events that led you to where you are, but then you're going into your sleep time more relaxed and hopefully in a better postural position, which will help you when you wake up to not be in as much pain if it is due to that kind of thing.
Right. And then also I think it's important to kind of note that, the time that we are asleep is really like the main time that our body is able to go in and just take care of all of the stuff that it couldn't do while we were moving at 100 miles a minute all throughout our day.
Exactly.
So healing and repairing damaged tissues, everything from, they say that our cells are, they're just in a constant state of reproduction and replenishing.
Right.
So this perspective of getting really good sleep as your first measure, because you're going to feel better. Right. You're going to feel better when you wake up, but then you're also creating this very healthy environment for your body to take care of all the healing and repairing that it needs to do. And largely when people are skimping on their sleep, or they're not getting a good quality of sleep because the TV is on or whatever, like you mentioned, the body is being prevented from doing all of this really important kind of healing and repair work. And I think that clearly sleep is an entire topic we could dedicate to, but from the perspective of people that want to reduce their pain levels, just realizing that the simple things you do to improve your quality of sleep and hopefully sleep in a healthier position is a really good place to start.
It is, for sure.
To listen to this full interview for free right now, you can find the WellnessPlus podcast on your favorite podcast apps, including iTunes, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Soundcloud, and many more. I've got all the links you need down in the description below. To view the full video version of this interview, along with our entire library of of content, subscribe to WellnessPlus.tv. And if you want to help us keep this information free and help support our efforts in creating these podcasts and so much more, I hope you'll consider becoming a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/Psychetruth. And remember that if you want to be alerted of our new YouTube videos, you've got to subscribe and click that notification bell. Thank you so much, and we'll see you again soon.